Well, we did the top 10, so now we're going to do, in my opinion, the top 10 worst RDR1 multiplayer taunts. Alright, so my rating for these taunts, this is what I'm factoring into it. I'm factoring into it the taunt itself, like what they say, whether it can be seen as a taunt, or whether it's like a good, diss or slide against someone. And then also like the delivery of the voice actor, the voice work of the character. And because some of these people have awful delivery, and that's definitely going to factor into my list. So anyway, let's get started. So let's start with some dishonorable mentions. First we have Slick Nick. He's in the army. He's like the first guy you unlock.
Don't get your Baxter Murphys in an uproar. Didn't I see you in a Baxter Murphy advertisement?
So his is like talking about a Baxter Murphy. So he mentions Baxter Murphy twice in his taunts. And I don't know if that's like underwear, because I mean, I even tried to look it up and I couldn't find out what it meant. So it's just like, I don't know what this is. So I'm just putting this in the top, in the dishonorable. So it's not like in the top 10, but still kind of not really a good taunt in my opinion, especially because I don't really know what it is. I'm guessing it's underwear because he mentions it like, he says don't get your Baxter Murphys in an uproar, which means I guess don't get your panties in a bunch, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so next up we have Elise Thayer.
You got a paperback heart!
So for her, she's saying you have a paperback heart, which I have no idea what that means. Like, does that mean you have a weak heart or something? It's just a weird insult. Okay, so next we're gonna go to Kit 10. I'm not even try to pronounce his last name. He's a member of Dutch's gang.
Get a wet nurse, you heel fly!
So with this, it's just weird because it's like, what is a heel fly exactly? Like, is that like a horse fly? Like what is a heel fly? Yeah, it's just a very strange insult, but those are the dishonorable mentions. So those are ones I didn't think that were exactly good, but not exactly bad enough to make the list. So now we're going to get into the top 10 worst. So at number 10, we have Pig Josh. And it's not really like a bad insult, it's just like a kind of like a corny pun.
This place blows!
Yeah, with that one, I mean, it's not horrible, like I said, but it's more kind of like a pun. I kind of put it in the same kind of model as like a corny dad joke, It's just like, it's not really a pun. And I could be wrong, but I don't think that they got the actual voice actor who played Pig Josh in Red Dead Revolver. I could be wrong, but it definitely doesn't sound like him, and then it's just like a weird kind of pun. Next we have DR Gossett, who's in the Miners.
I want to get in your pants!
So his is, I won't get in your pants. So, I mean, it could be a taunt, but also it could be something very, very bad and pervy, but it's just kind of like, really, it's like, I won't get in your pants. Like, ugh, I get the heebie-jeebies just thinking, I'm just having a drink in a bar and he just walks up to you and says that. Oh man. Or in jail, like you go to jail and he's standing in the corner of the cell, he's like, I won't get your pants.
Oh, thanks. I like your shirt too.
Great.
I really like your pants. Why don't you take off your pants?
Yeah, man. Take off the pants.
So next we have Ian Connors of the Cattle Rustlers, aka the Ballard Gang.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm wearing a corset!
So that one is also very strange. It's not really like an insult, it's just more like I don't know if it's like a shock value thing, but it's like, this isn't really a taunt, it's more of like a confession, a very strange confession, but hey, you do you, buddy.
I can explain.
Alright, next we have Al Wolfcreed from Dutch's gang.
You shoot so bad, you must aim with your head as a cow backside.
Yeah, and with that one, it's just like a weird, I mean, it's kind of what he's saying, because I mean, honestly, I can't understand half the things he said, because he has like a weird accent, like, that's one of the things, that's kind of why I put him a little higher in the list, even though like what he said, I mean, it's kind of dumb, but it's just like it's like the voice actor, it's like it didn't really match, like to my opinion, that doesn't sound like a native voice, it sounds like he's from freaking Belgium or something. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a native voice. It just sounds like a weird. And I know there's another member of Dutch's gang that has that same voice, but it just doesn't seem like it really matches with that character well. And I don't know. I just think it was kind of dumb. Like, you know, you couldn't say ass. Like, you couldn't shoot better than Cal's ass. It was like, no, backside. I can't curse. We don't curse in Belgium. I don't know. Don't get mad if you're from Belgium, but. Alright, next up we have Nigel West Dickens.
Have you been to Paris?
Yeah, with his, just like, have you been in Paris? Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, how is that? It's not really a taunt. It's not like a threat. It's just more like, have you been to Paris? Like, no, like, what does Paris have to do with anything? Have you been, you know, it's kind of a dumb insult, in my opinion. It's like, who cares whether someone's been to Paris or not? Even, like, back then, like, yeah, I guess Paris is, like, more avant-garde or educated, but it's just, I mean, that's the only thing I could kind of see him insinuating with that, but in my opinion, it's kind of dumb, because, like, really, what relevancy does that have? Especially in, like, the West, like, would you want, if some cowboy's talking shit to you, would you want to just turn around and say, have you been to Paris? Oh. No, that's how you get shot in the face. So next we have RJ Part of the Lawmen.
You're really serious with that thing?
Alright, so with this one, I mean, it's also like what he sings, like, are you? It's like, almost like he's going through puberty as he says, like, are you serious? Like, okay, dude. Wait till your balls drop before you say that one again. Seriously, like, I don't know. It's just like a really, I didn't like the delivery of that line, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of dumb. I didn't really like the delivery. The main part I really didn't like was the delivery. So now we're going to go to Deputy Jonah.
What you waiting for, Chowderhead?
Alright, can someone please explain to me what a chowderhead is? Like, I can't even piece it together. Like, chowderhead because you're saying, like, their brains are scrambled so they're so stupid? Are you saying that their face is pale like chowder? Are you saying they're chunky like chowder? What are you saying by chowderhead? That's just when I was like, I do not get, and it's just his delivery, like, he just sounds so confident saying, he's like, what are you waiting for? It's like, dude, that sucks. Alright, next up we have Michael Reese. He's also with the Cattle Rustlers, or the Baller Gang.
Your hair makes me angry!
So with that one, it's like, what out of all the things you could criticize about a person, or make fun of, you can make fun of their weight, how they look, whether they stink or not, whether they're a failure or not, but you choose to make fun of their hair. And not even like a funny thing, like, oh, your hair looks so dumb, it looks, you know, so greasy, or oh, it looks so brittle, or, you know, it's like something like making fun of the hair itself. You're just like, your hair makes me angry. It's like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? Like, how does, for number one, sir, how does hair make you angry? And like, it's just it's a really weird time. But next up we have Abigail Marston, and I mean, we might get into this when I make my my list later on, my character list. But I mean, I really don't like Abigail, but this taunt is just weird.
You idiot!
And okay, you idiot. Okay, that's a decent taunt. Not decent, but it's okay. It's like a D taunt in my opinion. But what is up with that delivery? Like, why did she pause for so long before saying, like, you? Like, she was, like, stuttering, like, she didn't know what to say. Almost like, you know, when someone was, like, making fun of you as, like, a toddler and you didn't know what to say and you took so long to respond back, you know? Or not even a toddler. When you were, like, in grade school or middle school, right? The time when everyone's, like, ragging on each other. And, like, she's, like, taking forever to come up with a comeback. It's, like, it just makes it ineffective, in my opinion. Alright, so now we're going to go to number 1, Sarah Grace.
I'm going to make you feel good. Ah! You're all in the mud like animals. Yeah! I'm going to kill you all. Ah! We're all busted here. Going to hell. Ah!
Alright, so with... not only I have issues, like, I think most of her taunts suck, but the fact that her lips don't even match up, like, with other characters, like, it kind of somewhat matches up. I mean, obviously it's not exactly, but with hers, it's just like, she's like a puppet. Like, she's, her cheeks expand to the side while she talks, and there are sometimes, like, where, like, her dialogue keeps going, but her mouth is closed. So it's like she's like a freaking ventriloquist. And then even like what she's saying is just like, it's so weird because like what kind of a taunt, like whoever that voice actor, I'm sorry, whoever did the voice work for that person should never do voice work again, in my opinion. Like it is awful because it's like, how is that, like, can you take that seriously if someone, especially like how she just randomly screams after not even saying anything threatening. Like she's like, oh, I'm gonna have you give a good time. Rawr! It's like, what the, like, how does that make it more scary or threatening? Like, I don't know. It just sounds like really stupid. Like I could do the same thing. Like, I'm gonna make a bologna sandwich. Ah! I'm gonna brush my teeth. Ah! It's like, what the fuck? What was the direction? Like who listened to be like, all right, that's good. But then again, I'm sure it's just like, they're just like, she's just a multiplayer character. It doesn't really matter. But still, like, that delivery is just awful. And that's why I put Sarah Grace in #1 for multiple things. Not even just one thing. Like 4 or 5 of her taunts are bad. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the top 10 worst taunts in RDR1 multiplayer. There's a lot of bad ones out there. But I mean, at least there are a good number of taunts. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy and I hope to see you next time.